It's Marita with Book Bites, another episode. And today's book is going to look at building trust with those that you seek to influence. The book is called Trust Agents, Using the Web to Influence, to Build Influence, Improve Reputation, and Earn Trust. Written by Chris Brogan and Julien Smith back in 2009. I'm not sure if you were in the business community back then, but it was really quite a topic of discussion back then. What he's done is he has delineated 6 characteristics of what he calls a trust agent, which is another way of saying, I think now we would call them like an influencer, someone that we look to around a specific topic that we trust. We trust what they say. And then these characteristics, he then expands on each characteristic in a whole chapter. So the first characteristic is make your own game. And I'll just read a little bit of what he has to say here. Perhaps the first defining skill set that trust agents seem to share is their recognition of the fact that there's the established way to do things. And then there's a game-changing way to do things. That's where I like to play, personally. He gives the example of Oprah Winfrey starting as a TV weather person in Chicago, and now she's it says here multi-million-dollar media enterprise. I think she might be worth more than that. Is she a billionaire? I don't know. The second characteristic is one of us. The one thing that distinguishes certain people as trust agents is the simple defining question of whether a specific community sees them as one of us. That identity, rather than the separation, is it inclusive? It's about belonging. And I'm not sure, I'm going to say this the best I can. The Archimedes effect. We consider the web to be one of the best tools for increasing the power of what you do. So we discuss this with you to get you started on bringing it all together and achieving your goals. This effect is about leverage. The fourth characteristic is about Agent Zero. Trust agents are the center of wide, powerful networks. They are building relationships a priority because it's a human thing to do, long before any actual business requires transacting. They are people who jump at the chance to meet others online, at events, or at social settings, and who then often connect with these new acquaintances with other people in their networks. It's all about networking. It's about access. Brendan Burchard says that, he says, everybody has one person in their network that can make them a millionaire. Oh, let that sit for a moment. The fifth characteristic is the human artist, which is about soft skills, learning how to work well with people, empower them, recognize their skill, their strengths and their weaknesses, know when to improve relationships and when to step away. In business terms, this is called soft skills. From our perspective, companies that aren't valuing the power of peak performers in the arena of human interpersonal skills and social interaction are companies doomed to a painful future. Being a human artist, in a way, is about developing understanding. It's, in my opinion, then bringing humanity back into the workplace. And building an army. No matter how great you think you are, you can't do it alone. Boom. When you can get a large group to collaborate, you can achieve monumental tasks that may have been previously impossible. As more people gather on social networks and elsewhere, asking each to push a little can help it become an avalanche in a way no set of tools was ever able to do before. This is exciting. Those are the 6 characteristics, and I have to say that there's a couple other little nuggets, and that goes back to like the human artist, which was one of them. And it's just so funny because I have to read this because it is funny. Remember email when it was so exciting to get an email, and now we just like, oh my God, you filter through hundreds of them to find that one gem that you actually want to open. but it's just so funny. Email is a storm, he writes. People are buried under mountains of it. We like to joke at conferences sometimes by asking the crowd, who wants more email? Raise your hands. Of course, no one in their right mind wants more email. If you've done your job well, getting a message into someone's busy inbox shouldn't be a problem. That goes back to building the relationships, right? You've built relationships on the other side that will give you an edge over someone sending an email cold. That makes me nuts when I get spam. We now had a word for it. I don't know if we had a word for it back then. It also helps to understand when to send a message and when not to, particularly if you know that person is very, very busy or popular. The most important thing about getting an answer to your email is to have the person be familiar with you. Here are a few things you should consider. Now, is this relevant today? I don't know. You tell me. So he says, have a topical, interesting subject line that catches the eye. There are tools online to help you do that. Make it short. Finish your email with the most pressing question. It'll be the one that you'll get an answer to. And that's it. That was just, I thought it was funny how he was kind of talking about, we have so many. He also goes into trolling, which has become more and more of a problem. Let's see. Oh, customer service. That's really changed. But back then, let's see how relevant it is. He talks about answering the phone. Do you answer your phone? I don't know many people who do. Learn the 3 A's. Acknowledge, apologize, and act. As we're talking about customer service. Acknowledge, apologize, and act. And customers shoot back. Realize that every customer can now leave comments on Yelp. They can write a blog. They can go to hundreds of sites, write reviews, complain on Twitter. When I haven't gotten responses from places like Comcast, I go to Twitter. They don't like that. And I get service but it shouldn't have to come to that, in my opinion. So things like that you might find interesting. If you found one of the categories that I mentioned particularly compelling, go to that chapter. So that's it. I mean, let's see. Yeah, there's some good nuggets in here. There are some good nuggets in here that I'd recommend revisiting. So the book today, again, Trust Agents, and this is Book Bites with Marita, and I will see you at the next episode. Bye-bye.